Today we have a special guest, Prudence Lyman from the Young Women. Hey, Prudence.
Hi.
This is always the awkward part. um, we're so excited to have you in our ward. You guys have been in our ward
It's 2 years now, I think.
2 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're regulars. You're set.
Yeah, we're here now, but it's not awkward anymore. It's really
Okay.
nice.
Where did you move from?
We moved from California, like San Francisco-ish area. We were south of San Francisco, so in
Okay.
California.
So what was it like in California?
Well, our ward in California, it was like a really small ward. Like on a really good day, we had like 50 people like show up to sacrament meeting.
Wow, it is small. Wow.
Yeah, and it was like we had a really small young women's group, and so it was like definitely a big change, like moving here and having a bigger ward. But it's been really nice to be able to have like a support group from a big ward, because I loved our small ward so much. It was very intimate and like you knew everybody. But it's also really nice to have like that big community and to know that like you have like this big group of people in young women's and youth group and stuff to fall back on.
That's really cool. We do have a great ward, don't we?
Yeah, we have a really great ward.
Oh, did you guys move in when it was still Plano? I think you were in Plano third ward.
Yeah, we were in Plano third ward for like, I think it was like 3 months or something before they changed it. So it wasn't very much. We just moved, and then right when we were getting settled, it was like, oh, we're changing it again.
More friends.
Yeah, more friends for a bigger youth group, and it was nice though, because like it wasn't too long in the old ward, and then it was just a very nice transition to be able to just move into it.
Okay. Well, I know we're excited you're here.
Oh, we are too.
That's fun. Okay, so I have to ask, we've seen you sometimes up on a huge stand at Plano Senior High, and you're a drum major for Plano Senior High, right?
Yeah, I'm a drum major for the Plano band, and Plano Senior High School Band. I can't call it Plano Band because we're Plano Senior, not Plano West or Plano East.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. I love band and music, and it's just it's so fun. I love it.
That's fun. Is this your second year as drum major?
Yeah, so I was drum major at Vines last year, and then they opened it up for juniors to be able to be drum majors at Plano Senior this year. So I tried out, and amazingly and luckily I got it, which is really, it's been so fun. I love being drum major and like supporting the band and like being the first person that people see and being able to like support the band from a very seen way.
That's really neat. And the drum majors are really respectable students. I don't know. You're not kids. You guys are pretty much grown up.
Yeah.
But we were in band in high school, and I always had a lot of respect for our drum majors because they had just a sense of dignity, integrity. They weren't going to lead you astray. Do you feel like that? Like you have that love for the band. I'm not going to lead you astray kind of.
Definitely the love. Sometimes I'm not always 100% sure, because like if our director forgets to tell us information or something along that line, like I'm not always sure like which is the way to go, like which way is to tell the band like, okay, we're doing this, or like this is the schedule for the competition on Saturday, even though we don't have the schedule yet. So I'm not always sure, but it's always like everything always gets worked out. Like even if I'm like, I don't know at the moment, I'll get back to you on that. Like it's always important to like keep a good calm face even when like you're not sure.
Okay. So then people can keep following you.
Yeah. Even if I don't know what's happening, they have to think I know what's happening.
That's a good skill to have sometimes. Yeah. The storm is on the inside. It's okay.
Exactly.
So what does it look like when you're prepping for a big show? Like, how do you get ready as a drum major? Because I imagine that's different than an instrumentalist.
Yeah,
right?
So, like, for the instruments during band camp, like, in July, they're all practicing their music and, like, learning the fundamentals on marching. And, like, when they're learning marching, like, the drum majors can help by teaching you how to march and being, like, a support, like, oh, here's a small thing that you can fix with your marching, and just doing little stuff like that. But when they're practicing their music, we would all get together and work on like memorizing the show, because it's so important for us to have like the show known like back and forth, so that we know like if we're conducting, if there's a slip up or the battery isn't completely on time with the rest of the band, that we can get the band back on track and like really be that backbone.
Wow. So how do you get the band back on track? Because when battery goes, like, things get messy.
Well, it's happened a couple times. But the most important thing is to stay with the other drum majors. Like, we have our head drum major, and the most important thing that I can do, and, like, the other drum majors can do, is to follow the center drum major. And what what the center drum major does is just it tries to like find a balance, because it's a really hard thing to do, to like figure out, okay, whose tempo am I going to follow, or like how am I going to fix this. And usually the best option is to follow the battery, because that's what the band hears. And then hopefully the rest of the band is looking at the other drum majors who should all be on time together, and then hopefully it gets back on track.
Okay, that's a good tip. Stick with your allies at the towers. That's
don't go off on your own tempo. That's never a good idea.
So that takes a lot of quick decision making. Like you look like up there, you're just leading a very steady beat, very focused on one thing, but you're actually making a lot of micro decisions.
Oh yeah.
While you're doing that, that's interesting. Has there ever been a time where, like, I don't know, there was a lot of pressure, and like you were really glad that you made a certain decision, or I mean, in band, but maybe in life too. I don't know.
Well, a very like band one that comes to mind is at PEMI, which is a competition that we sometimes go to. Last year, when I was a sophomore, when I was a drum major at Vines, there was a very big tear during part 2, which is like that's when I was the center drum major. That was when I was conducting, and it was just woodwinds and the drum majors who were like keeping time. Like woodwinds were supposed to follow the drum majors, and they always rushed a little bit. So as I was conducting, I had to make sure to I was keeping a steady tempo, but I was also with them. And then once the brass came in, the brass came in early.
Oh no!
And so they were playing at a different tempo than the woodwinds were playing.
And they're so loud.
And so then the woodwinds are like, we don't know what to do, and the brass didn't know what to do. And I was up there, and I'm like, what is happening?
And this is in competition.
And this is the competition on the
goodness.
field. There's no second chances. And then the battery came in, and I just followed the battery, and like it all smoothed itself out. And I was very grateful that everybody was listening, and that we could fix it, because we did well at the competition somehow. But it was very stressful.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad you guys could recover from that. That's really exciting. Yeah. Wow. And now you have a center drum major, so they can make those decisions.
Exactly.
Do you think you'll go out for a drum major again next year?
Yes, definitely. Okay. I love doing it. Like I love my instrument and I love marching, but there's something about being up there and conducting, because I love the leadership aspect too. Like I love being able to be there for people and to be someone that people know they can rely on. But even conducting, like it's just it's so satisfying to me to be able to be up there and know that people are watching me for time, and that if I am wrong, they're wrong too, and so that I have to be right, and I have to be right.
It gives you that pressure to make sure you're on target.
Exactly.
That's really good. So if you're driven to leadership, who's a leader that you really admire? Maybe it's somebody who leads you, or maybe it's just somebody you know about. Who's a leader you really look up to?
Well, someone that I've really looked up to here in California, here in Texas.
We're in Texas.
Yeah, we're in Texas. I'm not in California anymore. A lot of good leaders in California. A lot of good church leaders and everything. But someone that's really stood out to me in Texas is my band director at Vines, Mr. Gao. He is an incredible teacher, an incredible leader, and he leads out of respect. And you can always tell that like he respects you, and if you are doing something wrong, he will show you exactly what you need to do to fix it. And he isn't going to just tell you, oh, you're doing this wrong, fix it. He's going to show you how to do it. And I've always admired that, because I know that I can go to him with a problem and he's not going to judge me for it, and that he will always just like be a strong person to be there, who like will lead the band but won't do it and won't abuse their power doing it.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
To have a leader that not just tells you what to do.
Exactly.
That's really cool. So I can see you kind of doing that with the young women too. You've been in different leadership positions in young women too. Well, actually, you've been in the same leadership position, right? Yep. So how has that been? Like, you've been a leader in band and some other things. How has it been leading young women, especially in like a group that's so combined from two different words? I guess three. Yeah. In essence, yeah. How has that been?
It's been really fun, honestly, and I can definitely see how band has helped me, because it's helped me like realize that everyone in Young Women's is important. Like, there's not a single person that like is more important than the other, or a single point that like, or a single group that's more important. And it's really nice with our Young Women's group, because we don't really have any cliques, which like sometimes you get that, and I just love our group so much, because we all just have a community, and it's so important to me to have that community and to make sure that nobody feels left out and nobody feels like they're not wanted or needed with the young women. And as a leader for the young women's group, I just want to make sure that nobody feels like they don't belong there. And so I hope to like be that person that people know that like, oh, if I go and talk to her, she can be there for me and she's not going to make me feel like, oh, I don't want to be here, if you know.
Yeah. So kind of like your band director.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not going to judge you. What's up?
Yeah, like I want to be your friend. Like I want to be here for you, and I want you to know that you can trust me and that I can trust you and that we can have this relationship.
That's really cool. That's really special. And I do see that with our young women's group. Like we have a lot of different interests, but you guys have made friends and really come together.
Yeah,
Done some amazing things.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I have something with all of the young women that I know that I can go and talk to them about, whether it be about school or like music, because we have a lot of really talented young women, or like even anything, because I can take my music and relate to someone who likes art, and like just we can find things to talk about and just like relate to, and it's amazing because we have the opportunity, because we're not cliquey and everyone is welcome.
That's really neat that I could see that you're interested in building that personal relationship with each friend.
Yeah.
And each young women, and probably the same at school, right?
Yeah.
That's a really powerful example of the Savior, I think, because he saw people one by one, not what clique they were part of. That's just really cool to see, because that's the love of the Savior right there with you guys. That's really neat.
Exactly. Like I hope, like, and that's where it all comes from, right? Like my band director is, like, I see the Savior in him, which is why I want to be able to, like, which is why I want to emulate him as a leader, because, like you were saying, like, the Savior led by love, and he didn't see people by where they were from. He saw where they were going, and that's just what I hope to see. I'm not always perfect about it. There are some people that there's some people where it's harder, and that I have to work at it harder for myself. But I'm always trying to see where someone can go and how I can help them, instead of judging what has happened or something that I don't personally agree with.
Wow, that's a really powerful example. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You mentioned music. So drum major is still kind of music, but you also enjoy music for yourself, right? Playing instruments. What do you play?
I play the flute and the piano. So I play the flute during concert band at Plano Senior, and during concert season, and then play piano classically, and then I'm also in jazz band at Plano Senior.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's really fun.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I love jazz.
No, it's so fun. I wasn't originally going to do jazz this year, but my band director asked if I would be willing to join, because the bottom jazz group at Plano Senior didn't have a pianist, and I was like, I've never played jazz piano before. Like, I can't read changes or anything.
It's intimidating seeing the squiggles on the page.
Yeah, because they don't give you notes. They just give you the chords and then the lines, and then you play along with how it should fit. And it's definitely been an experience trying to learn how to do it, and then everybody else is like already just playing their instruments, and I'm like, I'll get there, guys. I'm not perfect right now, but we'll get there.
That's cool. There's less pressure at being the lower group, right?
Yes, exactly. The pianist in the higher group, I think his name is Matthew, and he's incredible.
Wow.
Like I've heard him play a couple times, and from what I've heard from people in jazz orchestra, which is what the top group is called, he's absolutely incredible. And like when they're sight reading, it sounds like he's been playing it for a couple months, and I'm like, oh, that's intimidating. Hopefully I can aspire to be like that someday.
Yeah, well, I already see you like that. You've gone the next step to go into jazz piano, so that's great.
Yeah, we're working towards there. Hopefully I'll be in the top group next year, because he's a senior, and so once he leaves, maybe I can like step into his spot or
there
something.
You go. Then you'll be the amazing pianist.
Exactly. Maybe.
That's neat. So you're classically trained pianist. Is there a favorite piece that you love to play, or that you're working on right now?
So my favorite piece that I've learned, it's Fantasy in D minor by Mozart. And I absolutely love the piece because it has a lot of like it starts out in a slower tempo in D minor, and then it has a bunch of like fun like runs and a lot of fun licks in it that are just fun to play and are very technical. And so it's definitely like helped my playing, because it's just a very technical piece but also a flowing piece. Like you have to have the emotion to play it, and then also like the skill to play it.
Wow.
So
it's
a lot of
worth
fun.
the work, and it's motivating.
Yes, exactly. And I've been working on it
exciting.
for a while, so I'm like, I can just sit down and play it. And if I'm like getting mad at another piece that I'm learning and that it isn't good, I'm like, okay, just gonna take a break, and I'll play this one for a minute.
Oh,
because I know I
nice.
can play it.
Okay, so you've done the work. You've put in the work. You're feeling the joy now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's not like when you're first learning it and you're like, wait, why was that so bad? Can I actually play my instrument?
That's fun. Oh, I think it was last Christmas you did a piece at the ward party.
Yes.
Like, was that a jazz piece with,
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember.
Yeah, we did a jazz.
Who was it?
We
Was
did
it
a jazz.
Locke?
Yeah, it was Locke, and then Matthew Schaefer, who is an incredible percussionist at Plano Senior. He made state last year on percussion, which is incredibly difficult. And then it was Isaac Haslam who played the guitar for us, and then I can't remember who was on bass and drums. But we had a lot of good musicians for it, and we played 2 pieces, and it was a lot of fun.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
I had no idea you did jazz until that moment, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Yeah,
Jazz Christmas is amazing.
Oh, it's very fun because a lot of Christmas is just like slow and classical, and I love the upbeat, like the jazzy feel to it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Christmas without Christmas jazz. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not the slow jazz. Well, I guess some slow jazz.
some slow jazz, but as long as you have some of the upbeat stuff in there, then
I'm totally on the same page. That's awesome. Okay, I have one more question for you. Where, I guess here before the question, everybody is super unique and has different experiences. Is there something that you've experienced or learned from, different things you've done in your life that you wish somebody could understand from your perspective? Or like you could put them in your shoes and just say, look at this. This is so cool. Does that spark anything?
That's a difficult question. I think something that I would say that like I would want somebody to know from my experiences is that you don't have to be good right away. Like there's been a lot of times in my life where I have been like thrown into a new experience and I felt the pressure that, if I'm not good at this right away, then I'm going to I'm going to fail at it. Like when we first moved to California, I felt very out of place, and I felt, if I don't fit in right away, then this is going to be awful. Same when we first moved to Texas, like it was a very different experience from California to Texas with the wards, even with the school. And I was like, if I am not perfect at everything that I do right away, then I'm not going to see any results. When I started jazz band, like if I'm not perfect at this right away, then it's not going to be good. But what I've learned from different leadership roles and from mentors and friends that I've had in my experiences is that as long as you put in the effort and you're actually trying and you're not just saying, I'm trying, but you're not actually trying, as long as you're putting in that effort, if it's not at the highest bar that you want to reach, like you're doing okay. Like as long as you're putting in the effort, it's enough.
That's really cool. That reminds me of what you did with jazz band,
Yeah.
You started.
Yes, exactly. Like, and it's not something that I've also learned is that when you're putting in that effort, there's always a little more that you can give. And so you can't always just say, I didn't practice. I practiced for 5 minutes when I could have practiced for 30, but because I only practiced for 5, that's okay. So it's a balance that you have to find. You have to find the balance between saying, I have to be perfect, which isn't a healthy mentality, or just saying, I can never be perfect, so why put in the effort at all? And it's something that I'm like actively trying to work on and succeed at on a daily basis, because that's one of my personal struggles, is like having the motivation to actually put in that effort, because there's always someone better. And so it's something that I've really like I want to work at and to be better at, that even if I can't be perfect, that I can have a level of my own perfection, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're still progressing.
Yes, exactly. And as long as you have that upward progression curve, and it doesn't even always have to be upward, as long as you're putting in the effort, then I think personally that's a sign of progress, and that's a sign of success.
That's really great. Well, thank you for the interview, and we wish you the best with the marching competition this weekend. And I guess it's still Bandtober, but we're getting towards the end.
We were on the downhill slope. It's not as hot anymore during practice.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. You guys are champions out there cooking on the sidewalk.
it's a lot, but the result is definitely worth it.
Well, that's exciting. Well, we hope to see your show, and best wishes with your music and leadership and all you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.